Where exactly does your dog sleep? And what position do they sleep in? This actually says so much more about what they're thinking or feeling than you might think. In particular, what they think of you and your dynamic. This is what your dog's sleeping position reveals about you. 1. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's your dog. There is a very certain pose some dogs sleep in that is, to my mind at least, utterly adorable. A pose that looks an awful lot like Superman flying through the sky. Their front legs stretched forward and their back legs stretched behind. Dogs who sleep like this tend to be incredibly energetic. They're often in this pose because while they're tired, they want to be ready to jump back up and back into action at any moment. A dog sleeping like this was definitely planning on just taking a nap. 2. The donut. From superheroes to pastries, another common dog sleeping pose is one dubbed the donut. This is when dogs are curled up in a tight little ball with their legs closed in tight to their body. If they are tiny and very rightly rolled up, their nose can even touch their back legs. Mustn't smell great. This sleeping position is incredibly common for those who might feel the need to protect themselves from the surroundings. So as you can guess, this pose is highly common amongst former strays who are still getting used to their new surroundings. If your dog is sleeping curled up in a donut often, they might still be getting used to your home. 3. Belly up. This one probably goes without much explanation, but some dogs like to sleep with their bellies up towards the air. Similarly to cats, a dog's belly isn't just smelly, but is also the most vulnerable part of the body. They won't casually flaunt it to anyone or everyone. They want to guard it to protect themselves from harm. So if your dog is sleeping in such a way as to expose the most sensitive part of their body to you, that is a very clear sign that they feel incredibly safe around you and know that you won't hurt them. That's what various kind of iconic dog sleeping poses mean. But it's not just the position they lay in that matters, but also where they lay. For example, 1. Sleeping near your head. Your little doggo might choose to sleep so near your head that they're basically a part of your face. If they wriggle in a little too close, it can be a little suffocating, especially if they're a big dog. But don't worry, they're not trying to choke you. If your dog does this, the reason is actually very similar as to why cats often do this. While you can't smell it with your simple human nose, human faces are where human odors are at their strongest. Dogs can smell those scents, and it reminds them of you, because your smell is how they come to know you. If your dog sleeps by your face, it's because they want to be where your scent is strongest. So they want to immerse themselves in the space where that bond is at its strongest. 2. Resting on your chest. But what if your dog sleeps a little further down your body? What if they love to sleep literally on your chest? One theory is that they do this because they want to be close to where they can feel the rhythms of your heartbeat the best. I knew our dogs love us, but literally seeking out our heartbeats? Now that truly is love personified, isn't it? The other theory is that the sound of your heartbeat reminds them of their early days with their mother, an incredibly soothing experience. So if your dog sleeps on your chest, what is clear is that they view you as a source of security and comfort that's up there in their hearts as being equal to their own mother. 3. Cross your feet. If a dog is resting on your chest, the theory is they are seeking comfort from you. But where do they sleep when they're the ones in the protecting mood? Dog experts think that's what dogs are thinking and feeling when they sleep across your feet. By positioning themselves at your feet, they are putting themselves somewhere where they can monitor all movements in the room and ensure your safety. When they sleep here, they are effectively reflecting their role in their minds as your guardian. 4. Burrowed under the covers. I mentioned earlier that when seeking comfort, your doggo might try to sleep on your chest. But if they want an extra level of security, they might take things one step further and literally burrow under the covers to join you. This sleeping position, adorably dubbed the burrower by the pet website Purina.com, is a sign your dog is searching for an extra sense of comfort, or possibly trying to soothe themselves and calm themselves down. Therefore, it's a common sleeping position for a doggo that might struggle with anxiety or has felt particularly stressed that day. 5. Back to back. An incredibly common position for dogs to sleep in is back to back with you. It's very comparable to when you're sharing your bed with your partner and you're both a bit too warm to cuddle, so you turn around and sleep back to back. It's a more casual form of intimacy, but intimacy nonetheless. This pose shows that your dog has a very high level of trust and comfort with you, really feeling that bond strongly. Because not only does the back-to-back pose reflect how much humans might sleep with someone they deeply trust, it's also comparable to how dogs sleep in family packs in the wild to ensure warmth and security. 6. Sleeping at a distance. Now, if you're watching this and feeling heartbroken because while your dog occasionally shares your bed with you, they never snuggle in close, don't fear. That is not a sign they secretly don't like you. Far from it. There are two major theories for why a dog might sleep in your bed, but not get that close. The first is that they just want a little bit of personal space, but are still interested in being in the same room as you. Think of it as like hanging out with your friend, but maybe feeling a little too low in social energy to have a conversation. So you just sit there and vibe. Maybe watch a movie. That's what your dog might be doing. They want to be near you, but not in the mood right now to snuggle in close. The other theory is super simple because sometimes trying to understand an animal's motives can actually be far simpler than you think. They might just be too warm and looking to still be around you but cool down. After all, hugs can get rather warm at times. 7. Stationed in the doorway. But what if they sleep even further away from you? What if they don't sleep on the bed at all, but are stationed in the doorway? Because for many of you, that will be all too familiar. Because lounging at the threshold between bedroom and hallway is actually an incredibly common sleeping place for many a dog. If your dog does this effectively, it's a step up from sleeping at your feet, in that they are taking their self-imposed job as your guardian up to the next level, and are quite literally guarding the line any intruders would have to cross if they were to try and attack you while you sleep. So while it may seem like they don't love you because they're sleeping nowhere near you, it's actually an extreme showcase of love, because to their minds, they are effectively at work stationing themselves to protect you from all and any assailants, even if they've imagined them. 8. A different room. But what if they sleep even further away from you than that? What if they don't sleep in the room at all, but are literally in another room entirely? Are they avoiding you? Did you offend them? Do you stink? Maybe, but much more likely they just want to have a quieter environment on that occasion. Maybe it's because there are some noises that you can't hear that have disturbed them. Or maybe they're just in the mood to be alone right now. Ultimately, it's not a big deal if your doggo chooses to sleep away from you from time to time, or even if they do it every night. What is important is that your dog feels comfortable in your house, or should we say their home, because we all know it's actually their home. And nothing will make them feel more comfortable than the right to choose where they sleep. The most important thing. There are some genetic factors as to why they might sleep where they do, like wanting to be near your heartbeat as it reminds them of their mom, or your face as your smell makes them feel safe. But there are some other factors that play a massive role in determining where your dog sleeps, and you've probably spotted them cropping up in each item on this list. Firstly, trust and security is a big deal. Secondly, temperature plays a massive role. And finally, their protective instinct over you. Speaking of love and protection, sometimes random dogs seem to love us as much as the ones who live with us, randomly running up and giving us attention. Why is that? Watch this next video to find out.